Good morning, students. In my previous class, I have explained the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. First of all, we have seen the physical properties of metal, physical properties of non-metal, chemical properties of metal, nature of metal oxide, metal react with water, metal react with dilute acid, displacement reaction. So these are the chemical properties of metals. Now today we will discuss the reactivity series of metals. Here we will see the some elements are given like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, copper, mercury, silver and gold. So how can you understand that which metal is a more reactive and which metal is a least reactive? So first of all, what do you mean by reactivity series of metal? So we will discuss the arrangement of metals in a vertical column in the order of decreasing reactivities is called reactivity series of metal. मतलब जब भी हम मेटल्स की रिएक्टिविटी की बात करते हैं, जितने भी मेटल्स हैं उनकी रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज़ की बात करते हैं, तो उन मेटल्स को जब हम वर्टिकली उनके रिएक्टिविटी के डिक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर में हम रखते हैं तो वो कहलाता है रिएक्टिविटी सीरीज़ ऑफ मेटल्स. जैसे हम ऊपर देख रहे हैं, मोस्ट रिएक्टिव मेटल्स सोडियम, पोटेशियम, कैल्शियम, मैग्नीशियम, एल्यूमिनियम, जिंक, आयरन, lead. So these are reactivity series and these elements is arranged according to decreasing reactivity. So in reactivity series, the most reactive metal is placed at the top, whereas the least reactive metal is placed at the bottom. Here, first of all, we will see those metal which are arranged above the hydrogen. Here hydrogen is given. So those metals which are arranged above the hydrogen, these are the most reactive metal, and those elements which are arranged below the hydrogen, that is known as least reactive metal. For example, copper, mercury, silver and gold. So gold being least reactive metal has been placed at the bottom, and potassium is the most reactive metal which is placed at the top of the column. So some metals like silver and gold are less reactive, so they are usually found in free state in nature. Though hydrogen is not a metal, here we will see that hydrogen is not a metal, but then it has been placed in the reactivity series of metals. It means hydrogen को हम मोर रिएक्टिव मेटल और लीस्ट रिएक्टिव मेटल के बीच में हम रखे हैं. एंड दिस इज ड्यू टू द फैक्ट दैट like metals, hydrogen also loses electron and form positive आयन्स, H प्लस आयन. हाइड्रोजन भी है यहाँ पे जो इलेक्ट्रॉन को लूज करके प्लस आयन फॉर्म करता है. सो वेन एवर क्वेश्चन विल बी अराइज from displacement reaction, so first of all you have to write the more reactive metal will always replace to less reactive metal. Next one is, how do metals and non-metals react? First of all, what do you mean by metals? You know very well, metals are those elements which lose electron and become positive ion is called metals. So they are electropositive in nature, whereas non-metals which gain electrons and become negative ions, so they are called electronegative in nature. Example we will see, formation of sodium chloride. Here हम देखेंगे यहाँ पे sodium, the atomic number is 11 and its electronic configuration is 281. So it has one valence electron in its outermost orbit. So it loses one electron and form Na plus ion. And the atomic number of chlorine is 17287, its electronic configuration, and it has 7 valence electron in their outermost orbit. So it always gains one electron to form chloride Cl minus ion. So the attraction between the positive ion and negative ion result in the form ionic compound and ionic bond. यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं, यहाँ पे सोडियम है, सोडियम 281 before losing the electron it is called sodium atom 281, and after giving one electron it will form 28Na plus sodium cation. Here chlorine before taking the electron its electronic configuration is 287. When it takes one electron, now it will form the 288 Cl minus, it means chloride ion. So when metal react with any non-metal, now it will form the ionic bond, and this ionic bond is formed ionic compounds. It means the compound which having the ionic bond, that is known as ionic compound. So NaCl is a ionic compound, and between the NaCl ionic bond is present. Next one is properties of ionic compounds. So first of all, ionic compounds, they are formed by the transfer of electrons and are made up of ions. आयोनिक कंपाउंड हम उनको कहते हैं जिनमें ऐसे कंपाउंड जिनके बीच में इलेक्ट्रॉन का ट्रांसफ़र होता है और जिसके कारण वो पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव आयंस फॉर्म करते हैं, एंड दे आर हार्ड क्रिस्टलाइन सॉलिड. Third, they have high melting points and boiling points. Why they having high melting and boiling points? जब हम मेटल की बात करते हैं तो मेटल्स की जो मेल्टिंग और बॉइलिंग पॉइंट्स है वो हाई इसलिए होता है क्योंकि ये सॉलिड होता है. इज इट क्लियर? हियर थर्ड पॉइंट इज गिवन, they have high melting points and boiling points because the ionic compounds are made up of positive and negative ions, and there is a strong force of attraction between the positively charged ion. It means, for example, sodium chloride, when we will talk about the sodium chloride, between the sodium chloride ions having strong force of attraction, so a lot of heat energy is required to break this force of attraction and melt or boil the ionic compound. So due to this, ionic compounds have high boiling and melting point. Next one is ionic compounds are soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvent like petrol, kerosene, acetone, alcohol, benzene, etc. For example, we will see the sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is the ionic compound. Now this sodium chloride is soluble in water but insoluble in organic solvent like ether, benzene, kerosene. So why? So the reason behind is the ionic compounds dissolve in water because water has a high dielectric constant and due to which it weakens the attraction between the ions. So the organic liquid like ether, benzene, kerosene oil cannot do so. Next one is ionic compounds conduct electricity. It means they are a good conductor of heat and electricity. So it means ionic compounds conduct electricity when dissolved in water. So why these are good conductor of electricity? Because when we dissolve, or we will take the example of sodium chloride. So when we dissolve the ionic solid in water, so the crystal structure is broken down and ion become free to move and conduct electricity. So an aqueous solution of an ionic compound conduct electricity because there are plenty of free ions in solution which are able to conduct electric current. It means in molten state or aqueous state, the freely ions the plenty of free ions are available and which is helpful for conducting electricity. So students, we will discuss the next topic in next class. Thank you.